Absolutely. And you do talk a lot about miracles. How can one find miracles in their life? I usually sign off emails, expect miracles, and was like, my life I can't expect miracles in my life, because you don't think you can. Our thoughts are so powerful.
Right.
When you open yourself up to it, you're going to meet that right person at a cafe. You're going to see someone. Things are going to happen and connect. Can you talk a little bit about that, and tying that into your relationship workshop that's coming up in February?
Well, the Course in Miracles says a miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love, and every thought we think creates form on some level. That's how powerful the mind is.
Yes.
And every time the heart is open, it creates one trajectory, and when the heart is closed, then we manifest another trajectory, because everybody's mind is joined. People can subconsciously feel where we're coming from, and so forth. So once you know that, you become less tolerant of your own mind wandering, and you become much more disciplined with your own thinking. Just like you hone your physical muscles through yoga or through physical exercise, you hone your attitudinal muscles. And once you realize that in this quantum field of ultimate reality, there is no place where you stop and I start. It's all one global mind. Then you realize everything I give is given to myself. Everything I withhold is withheld from me. So then generosity and mercy become acts of self-care. You become generous out of self-interest. So it's just going from one mental filter to another mental filter. And depending on your mental filter, you live in this universe, or you live in that universe. And when you ask about romantic love, once again, there are two universes. This relationship is hell, this relationship is heaven. Now, we are brought, from a spiritual perspective, relationships are assignments. And we're brought together with people with whom there's a maximal level of soul growth opportunity. And the way we heal is that your unhealed places are brought into contact with my unhealed places, because that's how they get smoothed out.
Yes.
So sometimes you and I could be, particularly see this in romantic love, oh my God, this is so terrible. But it's like God's going, oh no, this is really good. You're triggered in that place for a reason. You know, Harville Hendricks talks about it as meeting other people who share, because my childhood wound rubbing up to your childhood wound. The ego would just reenact the trauma and the wound, and both people are left more wounded, and one or both say, well, this is a terrible relationship, I have to go. Or they see the relationship as what it is, a kind of laboratory of possibility, laboratory of the spirit, and a hospital for the soul. When you have that, that's what the Course in Miracles calls a holy relationship, where it is understood that because I love you, because there's this much light, you are going to be subconsciously triggered to show me the worst in you, and I will be subconsciously triggered to show you the worst in me. That does not mean we will not hold each other accountable. That does not mean there will not be healthy boundaries, but there will be a level of commitment to the practice of love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, and communication that will take a wound and turn it into a miraculous healing. And that's the in-depth inquiry, and that's certainly the inquiry we'll be making that weekend.
Yes, and I think unless you have that mentality, it'll never work. So many people are on, I'm doing It's Just Lunch, I'm doing Matchmaker, I'm doing Millionaire Match, I'm doing Match, but you're still you. You're still having your list. You're still doing this, so none of it'll work.
But you know, I've met people who've had God met people online, and you never know where you're going to meet somebody, so you don't want to have a judgment on that either.
No, you could meet them, but in order to have
have it work,
what you're just talking about, you're going in there, soul meeting soul, because you'll destroy it. Going, that you have that issue. I don't want to do that. That's pushing my button. So no, you have to. You can do all that, but with like what you're going to teach at your weekend, they're going to learn how to understand themselves, and these are my buttons, and if I meet someone like that, that's okay. I don't have to erase them.
Because if there's a perfect person out there, are they looking for you?
Right.
Really?
Right.
I mean, hello.
Right, exactly.
So it's a very big issue to understand that our seeing each other's darkness is part of what it means to learn to truly love another person.
Yeah, and opening your heart to anybody if you're feeling some sort of connection and exploring it, not dismissing them because one thing's not on their list.